Hey guys, welcome to Intro to Research class. I am Dr. Gupta and as you know by now, I am your professor for the Intro to Research class. This is actually a Watch Me First for week 2. You're going to have a Watch Me First for every week that tells you what's happening in the course, what documents are there, what assignments are due, which provides an overview of the whole week. I do this because in online classes sometimes there are more confusions and we do not really get to interact with each other. As you have already read the syllabus and know that one of the big things is a literature review assignment. So most all assignments that you have is built upon those. So this Watch Me First is going to be posted right here and you can actually see this is how it's going to look like. So in just a minute, this is going to go away. I just put it over there as a placeholder to show you where it is going to be there. So this is how your screen's looking right now. So it is hidden right now, but it is going to be available. This Watch Me First will be right on the very top. So right at week 2, we are going to go ahead and get started with thinking about research and what would be our research question. A research question is basically a wondering that you have about a certain topic, and then you actually collect formal data to answer that wondering. If you are taking applied research, you are actually going to be collecting data related to this in your applied research class. This class, that is which is a prerequisite for applied research, and it's a class on its own, is just about you really looking and diving into what other researchers have done related to this topic and have said about this topic. So what I have here is, I have what is educational research for you, because most all of you are doing educational research. We also have the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. This would be something we will talk about when we meet for our class also. So quantitative is to do with numbers and qualitative is to do more with perspectives. You have here the next document or the next link that you have is about developing, developing your research question. Then you have, what we have over here is another research for crafting your research question. Some examples are there. And then there is one that says 3 types of research questions and question steps. When I say 3 types, what are the different types and everything else? I'm going to go and I'm going to scroll down. So you have your quantitative research question and question stems to help you, and then the qualitative research question. Think about it this way is, quantitative is to do with numbers, right? So your research question that is quantitative can only start with like does, what, is. Those are the ones that it's going to start with. Qualitative research questions are more to do with perspectives, trying to see what others think about it, thought processes, right? It's more of coding of open-ended. So you're going to have what is universal for both of them, how. The other one could be is in what ways, how does. So those are the qualitative research questions. So let's look at what's due this week. So this week you are going to start a discussion board on your research topic. If you would have been in the classroom in person, I would have had you bring your wonderings and we would have had a discussion about those things together. However, it's not an in-person class, it's an online class. So I have recreated that discussion, those conversations through a discussion board. This discussion board is open for 3 weeks. There is an assignment that is due week 1 and then there is an assignment that is due week 3 in the same discussion board. What you are going to do is you are going to post your initial post with your research topic and question, purpose statement, why are you doing it. It does not have to be paragraphs, simple 1 or 2 sentences. research question that is related to that topic, and it must be in a question format, and the type of study you think it is, quantitative or qualitative. You're going to make a thread and you're going to post it. Your initial post must be done by the end of the second week. That is September 6th. Your initial post must be done by September 6th. You will have the next 2 weeks to respond back to instructor feedback, make changes, completely change your topic. That would be totally fine. Revise, refine as many times as you want, as many times as you get feedback, and then have your topic at the end on September 20th. Please note that your research question is what governs everything throughout the semester. It is the sole, the core of your literature review, core of all the assignments that are about to come. So this is a very important, critical piece in you having a research question. Now, here's another part about it. I could wonder about so many things. I could literally wonder about why sun comes out or why is it that, right? But those are not doable. Those are not measurable, right? Think about a research topic that is in your field. I have a lot of students who are take flight students. They talk about the data related to take flight and they have a Wandering in take flight. That's totally fine. If you are a human resource student, you want to talk about something related to retail sales and not. That's totally okay. Think about something that is doable. That means it is interesting, but it is doable in a semester, because if you are going to be collecting data and answering it, that is really important. It is measurable. It is not far out there. I've had students who've talked about the name, the NFL thing. Those are not measurable. Please note, those are not measurable. You can't talk about topics that you really can't collect data. This is an impact assignment, right? You're preparing literature review as if you're going to do those things. Measurable, doable, and practical. That's really important to think about, that it needs to be practical. So that is what you're going to be doing. So let's look at the rubric really quick. So if you look at the rubric, you're going to see that this is the part, this initial post, the 5 points that you have is actually due this week. If you do not have your initial post by the end of week 2, you do not get these points. You can get the rest of the points, but you cannot get those points, right? I'm only going to read the maximum points one, and you can look at the rubric. You have revised the topic, research topic, at least 2 responses as per. At least 2 times you've done a revision over the 2 weeks, okay? Your revisions are thoughtful, they show growth, you've narrowed your topic, and then it is relevant, appropriate, helpful in improving discussion, and timely. Those are the areas that you are graded on. So, once again, week 2 is all about us getting started with the research topic, research question, looking at all of those things. As you go to week 3, you're going to notice that there is a Zoom link. I always like to have students do the initial post so that I can read those and we can have a discussion about those in our Zoom when we do it in week 3. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to post on the course question discussion board. It has worked really great in the past semesters, is because questions on those can also be answered by peers, and the peers actually find the answer somebody else asked the question. It is absolutely okay to ask any type of questions, even if you think silly, but they need to be professional and appropriate. Okay, I would love for us to keep that professionalism in the class. We are all working collaboratively together. So one last time, a recap is this is all the resources that you have, and then what you have here, this is the rubric, and here is the discussion board. It is due September 20th for the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th part. Part 1 is due September 6th. I'm pretty sure I have that written. It is due September 6th and the revisions are due by September 20th. If you have any questions as you're moving forward, ask me. If you want to make a post and you just want to I just wanted to get something out there so that I know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, that is absolutely okay. This is a conversation that we are having, and I really want you guys to feel comfortable to have those conversations. I am here to support you. I will help you all the steps throughout the semester, and I want each and every one of you to be successful. So let's work together.